Are you gearing up to buy a lithium battery here during Black Friday or Cyber Monday, but you're worried about getting lost in all the different sea of options that are out there? I totally get it. I understand, and I've been there. There's an endless amount of options on there, and you're trying to figure out which ones are worth spending your money on. So we're going to cover very small batteries, extra mini size batteries. We're going to cover some 36 volts, some dual purpose, as well as some general 100 amp hour batteries. Let's start with what I like to look for in a battery company. So let's just say you're already at a price point of somewhere in the $200 to $400-ish range. And I picked that range because there's some that are cheaper than that, and there's some that are a lot more than that. And this kind of hits a sweet spot for a lot of people. You get really good performance out of the batteries. You got a kind of a name brand that you can work with, but you're not paying that top shelf price for it. Does that sound like maybe something what you're interested in? So let's go ahead and talk about the ultra cheap brands. So these are the ones that I almost call them fly-by-night companies. Like they're just white labeling whatever battery they find. They're putting a sticker on it. You barely find a website with any details on it, and you're just not so sure about it. They're gonna be cheaper than some of these options for sure, but I can almost guarantee you the likelihood of you getting some customer support if you ever need it is probably gonna be non-existent. So do that with what you will. If you want the ultra cheapest, you're gonna roll the dice on that 100%. Then there's the top shelf brands. Those are the names that you've probably heard of and maybe what got you into looking into lithiums in the first place. And what you'll get with that is typically you get a very good battery for sure, but you're gonna get a lot better customer service just in general. You're gonna have a local dealer network potentially that you can go in and talk to someone, swap out a battery for warranty, things like that. If that's important to you, that's a kind of a different tier. We won't talk about those today. We're gonna stick in this kind of mid-tier level batteries as we talk about lithium. This guy right in front of me, this is the Xtra Mini LiTime 100 amp hour battery. And what is absolutely crazy is these 100 amp hour batteries started a couple years ago being this big, group 31 size batteries. And the way we've gotten with prismatic cells and being able to get the BMS tight in there, these batteries have gotten really, really small. This guy right in front of me, this is the Xtra Mini LiTime 100 amp hour battery. And what is absolutely crazy is these 100 amp hour batteries started a couple years ago being this big, group 31 size batteries. And the way we've gotten with prismatic cells and being able to get the BMS tight in there, these batteries have gotten really, really small. This battery is, let me double check, 19 pounds for a 100 amp hour battery, and it's got Bluetooth on it, which is awesome. Now you're gonna pay a little bit more for that. So if you really do need the super small size, and let me think of an example where that might be helpful. Let's just say you're doing a marine electronics battery. You want to add live scope, you got whatever fish finders, get fish screen display on your boat, and you want to put a dedicated lithium on it, but you don't have like a ton of space. One of these guys can do a lot for you because it's 100 amp hours. You can get a ton of runtime for most any situation. You can get a full day's worth of fishing on electronics for a 100 amp hour battery. Extreme case, maybe not, but in general, you're good. Let's just say you got a kayak, right? You got a trolling motor on your kayak. You want a small, compact lithium for it. This guy's gonna do it. It is not gonna be any less performance of a battery than a bigger one. I get that question all the time. Isn't the Group 31 100 amp hour better than the Mini? I would say no. They're gonna have the same BMS in them anymore, and they're gonna get the job done for you, even for a trolling motor, which is not even working a 100 amp hour battery very hard. Some other things about this guy is not only is it super compact, it's got Bluetooth like I mentioned, so you can get the LiTime app from the App Store, Google Play, and it's of course gonna be on sale. All the LiTime stuff, all of these that I know of go on sale around like November 10th. So we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But the Xtra Mini battery is a top pick. There's been a couple that I've used in the past that are quote mini batteries. This is definitely the smallest size that I can find that has Bluetooth and all the things. So if that's important to you, I'll have links in the description for all these if you want to go that far. But definitely check that out if size is important to you. Sticking with the LiTimes, we've got this guy here. Now this one I just recently did a video on, and it is one of, I don't know, it's hard to get excited about batteries, but I get excited about this battery here. A, because it's a dual purpose. And I've become a big fan of dual purpose batteries because they can save so much space in your boat. I run this battery and this battery in my boat, and that's it. I run a 36 volt trolling motor, I run my outboard and all my electronics off of one like this. And that is super nice, right? I got a 2-bank charger. I've got a LiTime 2-bank charger that charges a 36 volt, charges a 12 volt. It's super simple. I don't have redundant batteries. I don't have 3 batteries in series. I don't have stuff going everywhere. 4 bank chargers plus this for lithium. It is so simple to get it set up that way, and I absolutely love the simplicity. So let's go back to the dual purpose. What do you get with a dual purpose battery? You get a ton of power. It's 1300 MCA or marine cranking amps, which is done at 32 degrees F. That's going to crank over any outboard within reason that you're going to find. No problem whatsoever. It is a huge amount of cranking capacity. Not only are you going to get that, but you're going to get a smart battery. Whereas like your lead acid and your AGM, they'll just kind of do whatever they want until they die. And that's one thing. But the smart batteries will have like a 15% emergency mode. So it'll get down to 15% and then it'll go into emergency mode. You pull up the app and you can turn it back on, but that keeps you from running your battery completely flat and getting stuck in the middle of the lake, which is super, super nice. It's also self-heated. So if it's freezing cold outside and you want to charge a battery, it will, once you apply a voltage to it, it'll crank up the heat, the heating elements in it, warm up the cell and accept a charge. This thing will do it all, and it's rated for everything, but I think Yamaha's on their website. So do check that out. Make sure it's compatible with any of these dual purposes, but I'm a big fan of that. Before we get off LiTime, we will have a 10% discount code for the LiTime website in the description. If you're interested in that, we'll also have Amazon links. Compare them. These are all going to go on sale here pretty soon, usually around November 10th. Now let's jump to another dual purpose, this guy right here. And if you can't tell, this one is a little bit smaller. This is a Group 27 and this is a Group 31. Why is that important? This boat is a Tracker 190TX and it is made for Group 27 batteries. So if you go try to drop a 31 in it, you're going to need new trays. You're probably going to have to move some stuff around. It really doesn't want to fit. I do it in mine, but it really doesn't want to fit natively. You got to modify it. That's not for everybody. If you want to drop it and go, this guy right here will do that for you. 100 amp hours, more than enough power. Like I said, with the Xtra Mini, 100 amp hours, and you're going to get plenty of power to run your boat, run your live well, run your fish finders all day. And this one has a button on the top of it. We can see that. It's got a button dead center there. And instead of having to go through the app like on the LiTime, you can hit the button and wake it up, which is good. And I think you can go through the app too and wake it up. So Redodo has a really, really nice battery that fits on a lot of the smaller boats. Again, trying to save a little space, utilize the benefit of the efficiency of the lithium, and you can go a long way with the Group 27 battery if that drops in. I'm not sure who else makes a Group 27 dual purpose, but Redodo has worked out well for me in that regard. Now on the Redodo, if you're interested in this guy, there's an 8% code, GFishing8, will get you an extra 8% off their website. I'll have links in the description for their website and on Amazon. Definitely cross-check those, see which is the best deal. The next ones up are gonna be the Power Queens. We've got 2 Power Queens and they're different. And I try to give you a mixed bag of things, of brands I like and battery styles I like, things that are a little bit unique. 36 volt, 50 amp hour, done deal. This will definitely run your boat. I would have a very hard time killing this battery out on the lake. There's guys that say they can blow through a 50 amp hour and I'm just not buying it. This is the equivalent energy of 3 lead acid deep cycle batteries. For those guys out there saying they're gonna blow through those in a day, man, you guys are way harder fishermen than I am, I guess. I get it, if you're on like a main, Great Lake, huge current, something like that, sure. But on a regular lake, even if it's really windy, a 36 volt, 50 amp hour, I would have no problem putting that in, fully charge it, and I would not even look at it all day. Not even close. Anyway, this one is Bluetooth connected. Go through the Power Queen app, Google Play, Apple App Store, and I've had great results with this one as well. It's in the 30, I got my cheat sheet here. It is 33 pounds. So you're getting rid of 3 lead acid batteries that are 50 pounds apiece, and you're dropping in a 33 pound battery. And you're getting all that real estate back for your power pool pumps, for your charge unit, or whatever the heck you want to put in the back of your boat. You can save a lot of space by going to a single 36 volt battery. Again, I run a 36 volt and a dual purpose, done deal. The other Power Queen we want to talk about is this one here. And the reason why I picked this one is for A, it's a Group 27. So you could see here, it's a little bit smaller than this Group 31. And it's 125 amp hours, which is pretty unique. There's a lot of like 165 amp hour bigger batteries, but if you're a Group 27 kind of guy, trying to find one over 100 amp hours can be kind of hard. This is a 125. So if you've got mega screens on your boat, all kinds of electronics, and you need additional power over 100 amp hours, Power Queen's got a solution for you on that. They also have a 10% code, which is going to be Goodman 10. And their sales are going to be, looks like November 10th It's kind of when things start to get moving. And then, and they've got, what they're telling me is the lowest prices of the year. I think that applies for most anybody. This is the time to buy a battery. Like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's time to go. And if you're in the market for battery, it's really a good time to do it. And I've not seen prices lower than kind of how this time of year. You know, that applies for a lot of things, right? For whatever reason, we've decided that's going to be our holiday, and it's a good time to do that. I have this other Power Queen here. It's been a great battery. It's kind of an oddball from its size standpoint, because it's really skinny. It's an older Mini. It's a Mini 2, Premium 2, Bluetooth. It performs great. It's very similar to the Xtra Mini, but it's a lot taller. So depending on what you need, hopefully you can see that. I'll show some B-roll of it here. So those are those two batteries. I'm trying to think if I had any more. I was going to talk about a Group 24. I didn't pull it out of the boat because I'm running out of daylight here. But Group 24s, everybody's got a Group 24. I'm a big fan of those too. So it's going to be in between this size and this size. And what you get with the Group 24 is you get a normal tray, which these Xtra Minis can be kind of hard to mount because they don't really fit a normal tray. So you can go buy a Group 24 tray. I've used everybody's. Redodo's, I've used LiTimes, I've used all kinds of no names, I've used Power Queens, and they're very similar. Those ones, there's a lot of different options for there, so I would say stick with the primary brands that we've been talking about here. The Group 24 is a great size. Again, if you're adding an additional marine electronics battery, you got a kayak, you got 2 batteries making 24 volts, whatever it is, don't discount the Group 24s. And like I said, they're the same energy as the big ones. The Group 31s, the Xtra Minis, the Group 24s, the Group 27s. If it says 100 amp hours, it's 100 amp hours, regardless of how big the case is. Hopefully you got that. That question comes up a lot. That said, I think I've covered most everything that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I'll put links in the description if you're interested in that. But definitely get ready to go because it's going to be a good time for buying batteries. If you have any questions between now, Black Friday, whatever, post them in the comment section. I'm pretty darn good about getting back to people. If you have any questions on your setup, what size battery you need, have you ever heard of this battery? Reach out to me. I will do my best to get back to you. Like and subscribe to the channel if you found some value here. We'll have some more content coming up for you here soon. Check out this video, and we'll see you next time.